We begin tonight in Bowie, where investigators are trying to determine what caused a fatal fire last night. Good evening. This is CTV News. I'm Patricia Vallone.
And I'm Rochelle Metzger. Thanks for joining us this evening. Well, fire investigators are trying to figure out what caused a fatal blaze in Bowie last night. One person died and a home was badly damaged in that fire that brought crews from 7 stations to the scene. Sparks, flames, and exploding ammunition made a deadly blaze a more difficult one to fight for firefighters in Bowie. Around 10 Wednesday night, crews responded to a home in the 6400 block of Grundle Place.
Firefighters arrived and found a significant fire coming from what looked like the basement and first floor area, extending up into the roof. At one point, pretty early in that, there was a small collapse of a portion of floor, which required firefighters to exit the building.
Mary Johnson lives across the street. She and her family watched as emergency responders tried to battle intense flames.
The fire was this was full blown now, and they were just making sure it wasn't spreading, so they were just trying to contain it.
Meanwhile, ammunition stored inside began to explode in rapid succession.
It was terrifying because of the gunshots. I was like, what is going on? You didn't know if the gunshots were just going off because the bullets were there or someone was really shooting. That was just a confusing thing.
No one was shooting at them, but whatever stored ammunition that was in the house, when it heats up, it basically explodes.
No word yet on what caused the fire or the identity of the victim.
One of the things investigators are going to be looking at is whether, in this particular home, whether there was a working smoke alarm or not. We don't have that information yet.
Johnson says even though she didn't know the man well, her prayers go out to his family.
He had no one living with him, so I don't know how they're going to take care of the situation, or I hope they're just able to reach his family and just that they'll be fine, and I just send my wishes to the family.
Bashore says firefighters will be back out in the neighborhood tomorrow, going door to door to make sure all residents have a working smoke detector in their homes. Well, parents and employees tonight are voicing concerns about the fate of a local daycare facility. The It's a Family Affair daycare in Largo was built on land owned by WMATA, and now Metro wants it back. More than a year earlier than expected, the facility located next to the Morgan Boulevard station was awarded a subsidized lease, which expired several months ago. Owner Stephanie Miner says she was told that she could remain until August 2015. Recently, she found out that she, her 25 employees, and the 80 children in her care need to be out this summer. CTV caught up with staff as they prepare a group of 4-year-olds for graduation.
Process of re-enrolling for fall of 2015. I'm at the brink of having to make a decision at a 4 months notice. Do we refund money to parents? Do we call parents on our wait list to say, hey, as much as we would love to be of service to you, we're not being afforded that option. You might want to look for care other places. I've not even had an opportunity to fully digest all that's happening because this has never been the expectation that we would have to come up with an exit strategy on such a short notice.
Employee Dawn Folks is a single mom and says the thought of losing her job with only a few months' notice is overwhelming. She loves helping families, but now wonders who's going to help her.
I don't have any idea, and I'm at a loss. Of course, you have family support and things like that, but you don't know. And to look your child in the face and not know what tomorrow holds for you guys, it's very devastating.
Meanwhile, officials say neither the county nor WMATA ever agreed to a 2015 date, but say that they are willing to let Miner stay until the end of August. In a statement, a spokesperson says, quote, the county has offered the current daycare provider a 4-month extension, while WMATA goes through a formal solicitation for daycare service at the Metro station. We believe that this is a responsible and reasonable solution to the issue, end quote.
The city of Bowie and its residents want answers on why freight trains continue to overturn around the same area. A total of 3 coal trains have derailed over the past 9 years near Old Annapolis and Collington roads. Now, according to the Gazette, the City Council has sent a formal letter to CSX demanding that the transportation company provide information on the cause of the most recent accident. Back on May 1st, 3 locomotives and 10 coal cars went off of the tracks. Well, new speed camera regulations will go into effect this Sunday in Maryland. Beginning June 1st, each jurisdiction in the state with cameras will be required to appoint an ombudsman to review and void out any bogus citations before a driver goes to court. Now, the new law will also prohibit a local jurisdiction from making a vendor's fee contingent on a per-ticket basis or the number of citations issued or paid. Now, in addition, the law will constrict what is legally considered a school zone and will ban cameras in areas with posted speed limits of 20 miles per hour or less. The reform stems from numerous complaints from motorists to state officials.
The State Court of Appeals overturns a ruling that would prohibit video of a defendant identifying the man who allegedly shot him as evidence. Last November, Judge Leo Green ruled that the victim in this case, Melvin Pate, was competent when investigators showed him a photo lineup after he was shot in 2010. Pate was left paralyzed and couldn't speak after the shooting and later died from his injuries. The victim looked at the photos and blinked his eyes when he was shown a picture of Jermaine Hales. The remaining issue was whether or not the suspect has the right to confront his accuser. Since the victim died, it would not be possible. Hales and 3 others are charged with killing Pate. The suspects remain behind bars on a no bond status.
A jury hands down a guilty verdict in the case of a man charged with killing his ex-girlfriend in Berwyn Heights. Andrew Kugler was arrested in 2012 for the murder of Amber Chenault. He will now face sentencing for first-degree murder. Evidence at the trial showed that Kugler was depressed after the couple had broken up. The victim was found dead in her Berwyn Heights home after her throat had been slashed. The murder was the first homicide in Berwyn Heights in 21 years. The sentencing date for Kugler is set for August 22nd. And you are watching CTV News. I'm Patricia Vallone.
And I'm Rochelle Metzger.